Did we go to Pano or what?
My school sent a letter to
Welcome to a voyage of discovery and awareness of the richness, the diversity, and the often surprising nature of living with the land. Our journey begins as dramatic and sudden changes are sweeping over the land. The approaching storm may seem violent and destructive to us, but to nature, it's a new beginning in the cycle of life. Extracting precious nutrients and minerals. These elements, when combined with sunlight, create the diverse living systems of our planet. One of those living systems is the rainforest, home to the most amazing concentration of life on our planet. These dense and beautiful forests cover only a tiny portion of the Earth's surface, but they contain more than half of plant and animal species. Rainforests are also extremely rich and productive living systems, providing us with oxygen, food, medicine, and other elements essential to our lives. Nature has created a very different but no less beautiful living system. And while this arid landscape may seem lifeless, it is very much alive. The plants and animals that have learned to survive in these harsh conditions make use of what little water they can find and avoid the scorching rays of the relentless sun. Desolate as the desert, but over time, rainwater and nutrients gradually penetrated the hard surface of this land. Even the hooves of the mighty buffalo helped create the rich soil that would one day become home to the American farm. Of all the forces at work on the land, humans have had one of the most profound effects. The need to produce food for a growing world led to the enormous use, and sometimes overuse, of the land. In our search for more efficient ways to grow food, we often fail to realize the impact of our methods. Today, we're learning to live with the land, discovering better ways to grow food that will assure both human and environmental well-being. Here at Epcot, we're learning to reduce the need for pesticides by using natural predators like ladybugs and wasps to control pests. In Japan, we're learning that by adding composted leaves and other plant material to our soil, we can reduce the need for fertilizers. How will we meet tomorrow's growing needs for food production, yet still respect the needs of the land? Some of the answers are being discovered just ahead.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Harold, and I work here at the Land. In our living laboratory, scientists from Epcot, Department of Agriculture, NASA, and Nestle are exploring innovative and sustainable methods of plant production. There are over tens of thousands of edible species of plants in the world, yet people are only familiar with the 30 or so that are native to the region or can be found at their local grocery store. Here at the Land, we're discovering new ways to tap into this amazing diversity of plants. It is easy to see how this amazing looking gourd on your right got its name. The snake gourd is a native to tropical Asia and can grow up to 6 feet long. The fruit, the leaves, and young shoots of this plant are all edible. The fluted pumpkin on your right grows almost exclusively in Africa and thrives even in extremely dry conditions. Unlike most pumpkins, though, it is grown primarily for its leaves that are boiled or added to stews. Of course, everyone recognizes the banana trees growing on either side of the boat. But did you know that the world's most popular fruit is also a staple part of a diet in many tropical countries? The sea has long been a source of bountiful harvest. Today we're learning new sustainable ways to maintain this harvest. The tilapia and bass that you see growing in these tanks are well suited for fish farming or aquaculture because they thrive in high-density conditions and are tolerant of a wide range of environments. The fish that are grown here are often featured in restaurants throughout Walt Disney World. The American alligator, like the ones on your right, are no longer an endangered species. In fact, there are over 1 million in Florida. Some are raised on farms for the meat and hide, while others play a key role in wetland conservation. We produce over 6,500 pounds of fish a year in one aquasnout. Aquaculture is spreading rapidly already and produces over 20% of fish consumed. One day ocean farms will be as common as traditional land farms are today. A field of bright orange pumpkins is an image most associated with harvest time. These Cinderella pumpkins on your left should look familiar, for they're the inspiration for our most famous magical coach. The Atlantic giant pumpkin on your right is bred to weigh over 1,000 pounds. That would make a spectacular jack-o'-lantern. The distinctive color of pumpkins comes from their high amount of beta-carotene that is an important antioxidant and source of vitamin A, which is critical for good eyesight. One of the advantages of growing crops in a greenhouse like ours is our ability to harvest throughout the year. As you can see, our crops are grown in sand. By using a computer-controlled drip irrigation system, we are able to deliver just the right amount of water and nutrients to the roots of the plants. In this greenhouse, we're experimenting with innovative plant growing methods to increase our bountiful harvest. These peppers, cucumber, and eggplant that you see growing vertically allow us to grow more in less space. Vertical growing also allows for better airflow through the leaves, and it helps reduce disease. You can do the same technique at home by growing your plants on trellises. All of you with home gardens, I'm sure, know all about pests. Here at the Land, we use an integrated pest management system to fight this problem. by growing disease-resistant plants and using beneficial insects to eat the insect pest. We have dramatically reduced the use of pesticide. We are now entering the Hanging Gourd Garden. These are just a few of over 800 members of the gourd family. The fruit, the leaves, and seeds of these plants are important because they're a source of vitamins and nutrients. They also can be dried and made into utensils like dippers or water jugs. Now, as we learn more about the world's vast diversity of plants, we come ever closer to true sustainability. In this last greenhouse, scientists are using cutting-edge technology that can help us reach that goal. The kale and squash that you see flying through the air are being grown using a technique called aeroponics. The roots are receiving all the oxygen they need from the air, while water and nutrients are being sprayed on as they pass through the mist boxes. Here in our lab, scientists from Epcot and the U.S. Department of Agriculture are improving our plants through biotechnology. And as a final experiment with NASA, we're learning to grow crops for future space colonies. That is not only important for food, but also as a way to recycle oxygen and wastewater. There's so much more we can learn from science and nature about living with the land. The laboratories you've seen today are only part of the story. Once harvested, the crops still need to be handled with care on their journey from field to your table. All around the world, scientists from Nestle and other organizations are dedicating their time to improving the quality and taste of the food the world needs and relies on. If we work together, we'll be able to preserve the land and its precious and beautiful resources while still meeting the needs of our growing world. Only then will we truly be living with the land.